Okay, hi guys. I hope I'm audible to all. Everyone has joined in. Okay, hi Tanmay. Hi Raman. Hello everyone. So may I have your responses on the chat section? Okay, great. So for now, guys, all the people who have joined in, I want you to quickly ping in the chat section the places from where you have all logged in. Okay, you can just ping your city name. Be quick. Okay. So over here, guys, I welcome you all onto this amazing series. Start confident with Internshala. Okay. So over here, we are simply been today discussing about one of the most important and amazing concept that all of you have simply been, you can say, experienced whenever you are going ahead and whenever you are simply been calling a cab for your travel. Okay. So we'll be going ahead and we'll be understanding the concept of Uber. For now, all of you have seen a major market shift in India. That earlier Ola was the leading cab services around the nation, right? But suddenly you will be able to see that how Uber has taken over and being the top used, you can say, application for transportation for now. Yes or no? How many of you have seen this transition? That earlier India is led by Ola for now, right? But suddenly Uber has simply been entered in the market and simply been have captured the 95% of the stake, right, onto the cab and transportation services. Yes. Okay, great. Videos from Mumbai, from Kerala, so we will be having the people from around the nation, so it will be great. And the energy in the chat section is so buzzing. So over here, guys, today we are going ahead and we are understanding one of the important concept many of you have heard and simply been, you can say, understand it by pricing strategy model, dynamic pricing, right? But we will be understanding the entire analytics-driven organization, that how Uber has taken over India, still the respective company which is built back in Silicon Valley, right? How it has taken over the analytics, right? And with the analytics, how it has taken over the entire market in India for now. Okay. And doing great in terms of revenue. So over here, yes, I'll quickly take you to the notation mode, right? We'll go ahead and we'll understand everything from very scratch, right? So over here, guys, I hope all of you can see my respective whiteboard. Okay. So how many of you are using Uber for now, or have ever used Uber for now? I hope every one of us at any point of time. Yes or no? Okay. So over here, whenever you're going ahead and whenever you're traveling from point A to point B, so the pricing is simply not been fixed at all. Yes or no? Everyone? Okay. Right? So every time you will be going here to the same location, right? You will be having the deviation in the prices. Okay. And how the deviation will be impacted for now? Everyone. Okay. At what point of time you have seen that suddenly the price has been hiked, the price has been increased by Uber for the same location and even at the same point of time? For example, if you are traveling at 4 p.m. IST, right, from point A to point B daily, so still you will not be able to pay the same set of price at every trip. Yes or no? Everyone is with me on this? Okay. So how these organizations are managing it up? and what's the reason behind it, right? So we'll be understanding everything from the technical point of view, that how an analytics life cycle is simply been working behind running this respective cab and transportation services for now. Okay, so over here guys, one of the important factor, right? I got a response that at night it is high. Okay, so we'll be understanding everything from very scratch, right? Now, anytime, have you ever even experienced that whenever you open an Uber on your phones, right? Suddenly you will be able to see the increase of 2x or 3x price for now, everyone. Yes, at any point of time, have you seen this type of surge? Yes, okay. So over here, guys, these type of searches are simply being a pre-planned analytics model which works behind dynamic pricing, right? So why it is so? There is one of the very important factor that, like other set of services, Uber cannot have stagnant prices or fixed prices. Are you with me on this, everyone? Why so? The moment Uber try to just fix the prices, that okay, from point A to point B, the amount X will be fixed at any point of time, right? How you'll be able to see in public transports, how you'll be able to see in other set of transports, right? So what will happen? There will be a direct impact onto the revenue of Uber for now. Okay, everyone. So instead of going on to the stagnancy, right, where Uber needs to depend on the fixed number of rides so that it can maintain its revenue. Are you with me on this? Uber comes with the concept of dynamic pricing, that even if there is a respective huge demands coming up for the rides, so by having the same set of rides, Uber can simply increase the revenue for that particular day. Okay, right? So entire game about dynamic pricing, right, is always been having the revenue to be boosted at the back end. Are you with me on this, everyone? Okay, it's a very clear example. For now, if there will be high demand, Uber will simply deliver the services, but the charges that Uber will take will always be high. Are you getting me? And where the actual profitabilities of Uber lies in. Okay, so over here guys, many times you'll be able to see 2x 3x you can say increase in the prices. Okay, and that is maybe you will be having a particular event going around, maybe a cricket match, right? And around that respective stadium area you are simply been booking an Uber, so for sure you will be having the high demands to be coming up from that particular stadium to nearby location, so you have to pay high. Okay, right? It is raining. Okay, in general people can simply be able to take the bike rides, but due to rain everyone prefers to have a ride cab for now. Okay, so again demand will be increased up, yes or no? Fine, so still the Uber will simply be try to increase the price. Okay, if there will be certain concerts happening in, it is the peak hours or office rush hours, right, in the morning and in the evening, again you will be able to see the surge price. Okay, everyone is with me on this? So multiple factors over here. What are these factors for now? Whether it will be rain, I'll be giving you a rain, but you can just consider of all the climatic conditions. Okay, everyone, right? It can be a factor. You will be having any events to be happening up, right? Maybe a football match, maybe a cricket match, right? Maybe a concert happening up, right? So again you will be having the price to be increased up. You will be having the office rush hours. You will be able to see the price to be increased up, right? Apart from that, if you will be able to see any other respective events like festive events to be there in, again you will be having to get the high prices, right? Everyone is with me on this? Okay, so this is good for the organization who will be delivering the services at the respective, you can say, requirement. So for sure, having the increased price, it's pretty fine for Uber, right? That entirely been fine. But over here we have to understand the part of analytics, that how analytics is making Uber profitable. Okay, so at this particular stage, guys, for now, all these events, all these happenings will automatically increase the demand of cabs. Yes or no? Everyone is with me on this? All these factors increase the demands of Uber for now, right? So at any particular moment, whenever your demands will reach up, very generic factor, right? Everyone. So automatically, whenever there will be a high demand, so the dynamic pricing model will come into the picture, which will automatically leads to increased fares and prices. Okay, right? Very clear and very normal set of concept, right? But over here, guys, now what is this dynamic price model, right? Do we have any human which will be just changing and sitting somewhere and changing the prices as per the requirement? Yes, what do you think, guys? Okay, or it's a simply been a normal tech text that whenever there is a rain, Uber will simply increase the price whatever they want. What do you think? Or there will be any human team sitting up which increase the prices, right? What do you think, guys? Okay, is it the manual effort? Okay, how much price needs to be increased up, when to increase up, right? And at what particular location, at what particular destination, how much pricing needs to be calculated up. Okay, so it is not a task that a human can able to process. Everyone is with me on this? Yes or no? Right? Because I have thousands and thousands of people who will be using Uber and who will be simply been setting up the different distance, different times. Yes or no? Different destination. So it will be very hard for a respective manual efforts to increase the price, okay, or increase the price unnecessary. Fine. So over here, guys, we will be understanding of that there is no manual efforts. We'll try to understand who decide this price, and over here, guys, for deciding the price you will be having an entire data science engine working behind the scenes. Okay, so this dynamic price model is an end-to-end data science analytics pipeline, right, which simply decides the entire pricing module, right, from point A to point B at a point of time, right? What will be the weather conditions? What will be the demands, right? What will be the respective riders, you can say, history of traveling up, right? Uh, so there will be multiple points, millions and millions of data points will be processed together in order to come on a price for a respective booking. Are you with me on this, guys? Everyone? So a human cannot able to handle and pre-process those data points at that high accuracy and high speed. Okay, so we will be using data science in the backend, which decide when to increase and how much to increase as per the given situation. Okay, everyone is with me on this, right? So millions of pricing decisions will be happening at every single second, right? Everyone, right? So over here you'll be able to see that millions of pricing decisions will be happening at every single minute. Okay, so over here guys, Uber at the back end is answering multiple things, right? Whenever a user try to book a ride. Okay, so over there will be millions of data points coming up. We'll discuss about those data points, but Uber is simply been going ahead and continuously answering that how many people want ride right now. Okay, how many of drivers are available, right? So demand and supply concept, how many people want ride and how many drivers are there up. Apart from that, what will be the weather conditions? Fine. Is there a requirement to increase the price as per the demand, so that at the end Uber will be able to boost the profitabilities, right? And what will be the price which will balance the customer and driver both? Okay, because unnecessary, if there is high demand, Uber cannot unnecessarily try to increase the price. Are you with me on this? Why? Then Uber will losing the customer to different competitor. Everyone is with me on this, yes or no? Right? And as a consumer, many of you have already seen that many times you open multiple application in order to just search that where you will be able to get affordable rides, yes or no? Everyone. So if your Uber pricing dynamic model is not been even balancing the requirement of consumer and unnecessary increase the prices, then Uber will lose the customer, yes or no? Everyone. Uber will lose the revenue, right? So just increasing the price randomly is not the solution. Increasing is it at the perfect way, so that your consumer and your driver both will be having the balanced, right? Uber is not been losing a customer, as well as Uber is maintaining the profitability. That matters up. Okay, so that is a dynamic pricing model that simply been working behind the scenes. Okay, are you with me on this, everyone? Getting it up? Yes. So it is not just you increase the price, you get the revenue. No, you have to be very strategic, because in today's world, if you simply been try to increase the price unnecessary, you lose that consumer to your competitor. Okay, that is very very important over here, right? So that is one of the important factor, guys, that Uber have to solve. Okay, everyone is with me on this? Fine. So we'll try to understand more over here the problem that Uber will now been having up. Okay, and we'll go ahead and we'll try to explore more about that, what sort of algorithms are working behind it up. Okay, so the problem that Uber is solving for now. Fine. So Uber will be maintaining two things together, guys. It is not only maintaining up the customer, it is also maintaining the people which are associated with Uber, yes or no? The drivers. Fine, everyone is with me on this? Okay, so two side that Uber will simply be maintaining up. One will be the rider. Okay, and the other one will be driver. Fine. So what rider, let's say what a consumer wants, lower waiting time. Okay, the parameter that Uber have to consider up while in try to increase the prices and giving the availability, right? Affordable prices. Everyone, yes or no? Right. So lower waiting time, affordable prices, and driver side, what driver wants, they want less idle time and high utilization. Yes or no? Which means they need more earnings, which means more rights. Okay, and less idle time. Fine. So the algorithm that simply runs behind Uber will maintaining these two things together in. Okay. So over here there will be different data pointers on which your algorithm is working up. But first of all, you'll try to understand, guys, that Uber will not own its fleet. Yes or no? Everyone is with me? Uber will hire a driver and simply meet it with a rider. Yes or no? Everyone is with me on this? Yes, right? So over here, Uber algorithm needs to work in a consistent way that the rider should be mapped to a driver where the lower waiting time should be there in, right? Affordable prices, that pricing model will work on, as well as the driver side also needs to be taken up, right? Uber will not make certain decisions or bookings, right, randomly to any of the drivers. There is a proper algorithm which is running up which makes sure that a person who will be associated with Uber should not be idle for more time. Why? Because if a driver is idle for more time, the driver will churn out of the Uber. Yes or no? Everyone is with me on this? The fleet of Uber again comes or narrows down. Why? Because if a driver is not getting the adequate amount of bookings, right? So why should simply a driver associate with Uber for long? Are you with me on this? Right? So Uber have to manage both the things together hand in hand, right? Make sure driver should be getting adequate amount of bookings as well as rider should be getting what it wants, right? And once to both the parameters will be handled up, Uber will simply be increasing its interactivity and profitability, right? Now how Uber will do all these things? Fine. One of the important factor, guys, that the rider and drivers are both the driving factors for Uber. Yes or no? Okay. And what is the major challenge? That demand means the number of bookings, and supply means the availability of drivers. Okay. So demands and supply are constantly changing. This is a major challenge. Okay. Maybe at you can say 11 a.m. IST today, Uber will, for an example, for a respective area, let's say for Noida sector 62, right? Uber will be having 120 bookings, right? And the availability of drivers nearby will be 100 drivers. Okay, fine. So at this particular moment, guys, do you think that there is the requirement to increase the prices at all? Everyone, do you think yes? At this particular stage, you have 120 bookings and availability of driver is 100, right? So which means it's totally been fine. There is no need of you can say respective price searches, right? So automatically the respective prices will be normal for now and simply being within the range of their competitors offered prices, right? So in this case, a rider will also have an affordable prices as well as your driver is able to crack up a deal, okay, get a ride, right? And both the parameters will be handled up. Yes or no? Everybody is with me on this. So Uber is maintaining up the sustainable set of model over here at this particular stage, right? Let's say suddenly what happened that at 5 p.m. IST today, what will happen? It's an office rush hours. So for the same location, suddenly Uber got 500 bookings. Everyone is with me on this? And over here, drivers will simply be in at that particular moment, the availability of driver is 150. Are you with me on this, everyone? Okay. So what do you think? What will happen? The demand have been increased up. Yes. And there will be less sort of drivers to be available up. So at this particular moment, the dynamic prices comes up and automatically the prices will be increased. Are you with me on this, everyone? This is a generic model where Uber will simply be try to crack the opportunity of making more profit. So the price will automatically be searched. It will be increased. Okay. So over here, guys, this is a normal set of model that how Uber is simply been making a sustainable model when the availabilities of bookings and drivers will approximately be in same, right? But suddenly when Uber get more bookings and less driver, so the price will be increased and Uber algorithm is try to divert, right, more drivers to the available locations. Are you with me on this, everyone? Okay. So at this particular moment, there will be multiple set of data points which are involved over here, right? How Uber will be able to know that there is a chance and there needs to be a respective situation to increase the prices for now? Okay, everyone. So over here, there will be a couple of data points, right? Which will simply be in comes together, right, in order to take this decision for now. So let's try to understand the data points, everyone. Okay. So everything is not random. Okay, that Uber will get 500 bookings. Are you with me on this, everyone? So Uber will automatically say that yes, there is a chance of increasing up the prices or the price will be increased. No, Uber will validate this booking also, guys, right? The continuous data science model will able to process the data in the backend, right? And what are those data points? For an example, if I talk about your respective rider, right? So pickup location, destination, time of request, right? From how long a rider is requesting for a ride, okay? Apart from that, previous ride patterns, right? Cancellation behavior and search behavior. Okay. So all these pointers are of rider for now. Okay. These data points will be analyzed. Pick up and drop location. Fine. Apart from that, you will be able to get the time for making the request, that is also analyzed. Okay. Apart from that, guys, previous ride patterns. Okay. Then cancellation behavior, that is also been considered up, guys, right? Okay. Apart from that, what you will be having up, apart from cancellation behavior, your search behavior also matters up. Okay. everyone, right? Pick up, drop, time request, previous ride pattern, cancellation behavior, and search behavior. By all these pointers, what will happen? The Uber will validate the authenticity of the request. Are you with me on this, everyone? Right? That whether that respective request needs to be considered up, right? Because if there will be a random 500 request, right, it doesn't make any sense, right? Uber will validate that what will be the authenticity and what will be the requirement, right? What kind of riders are requesting up the rides, right? Are they frequent travelers, right? What will be their cancellation behaviors? What will be their search behavior? Okay. Search behavior is simply being the time request. Fine. That, for an example, a rider is simply been opening and checking up the Uber again and again. Are you getting me? In every 2 seconds. So that pattern is also been detected up. That will be your search behavior, right? Time request for now. Let's say if a respective rider is simply been going ahead and opening up the respective, you can say, application again and again, right? And within the same for time request, what happened? That for now, what will be the average waiting time for a rider? Okay, are you with me on this, everyone? So all these respective patterns comes up, and then the request will be validated, right? So this is about the data pointers which are simply being, you can say, detected from the rider ends, right? So over here, for an example, there is one of the important thing that demand is also being forecasted over here, right? So there will be a concert. I'll just give you a way that, for an example, if there is a concert for now and 1,000 people opens Uber for now after the concert ends, everyone, right? So automatically the Uber will also try to predict, fine, and make sure that there will be a proper availabilities of the drivers to handle the amount of ride it is expecting up. Are you getting me? So there also data science plays a very important role, not just only increasing or making the price dynamic. Are you getting me? Uber already know that what will be the number of rides it is expecting from a particular location at every day, right? It automatically predicts, fine. And the rerouting will simply be in such a way that at a particular moment, for an example, in Noida 62, let's say sector 62, for an example, if uh, there will be a usual pattern that from Monday to Friday, on an average from past 5 years, Uber is simply been going ahead and expecting the car rides, right? All that data will be put it together up, and Uber will do the forecasting, right? That in next 1 month, how many rides you are expecting from that particular location. Are you with me on this? So that Uber will try to make sure that at 5 p.m. IST, Uber 150 or 200 drivers approximately needs to be available in the particular location to cater the requirement. Are you getting me? This is known as demand forecasting, right? Okay, this is how Uber try to place and make sure that in which location Uber wants 50 drivers only, and in which location Uber wants 150 or 200 drivers. Are you getting me, guys? This is also the part of data science analytics, right? Where Uber already know that from which location Uber will be able to get more rides and more business. Fine. And within the same for pricing part, these points will be analyzed. Are you with me on this? So at a stadium, there will be 1,000 people open phones and Uber. So Uber will be able to predict the high demand for now from that particular location. Are you with me on this, everyone? So for sure, you will be having the increased price from that particular location, no matter whatever will be your drop location. But at that pickup location, let's say you will be having your concert at any stadium X, right? And suddenly 1,000 people opens Uber for now from that stadium, right? So at that particular moment, no matter whatever the respective time it is happening, up day, evening, night, you will automatically be able to get the huge price to be increased up. Again, there will be surge in prices. Okay, why? Because Uber will be able to predict high demand, right? Are you with me on this, everyone? Yes or no? So there will be a chance of making profit for now, where you will be having the huge requirement for now. Everyone is with me on this? Yes or no, guys? Okay, great. If I talk about drivers data, so there will be one of the important factor, okay, that from drivers point of view, the data that will be analyzed is driver's current location. Okay, so nearby drivers from that pickup locations will simply be notified, right? Acceptance rate, that what will be the acceptance rate of a driver. Okay, fine. If a driver is having a bad acceptance rate, so very hard you will be able to, or Uber will be able to notify the respective driver about the ride. Are you getting me, everyone? Acceptance rate is that from how many rides, what is the proportion that a driver has accepted of. For an example, if Uber have given 1,000 rides in a year to a driver, so how many of them driver has accepted up for now, right? Then you will be having the driver movement. Apart from driver movement, you will be having one more data point which is very important, right? Which is pre-processed over here, the offline and online status. Okay, so you will be able to detect the behavior of driver also. For an example, there will be a couple of drivers will which suddenly get offline at 6 p.m. ist. Are you getting me? And if there is a ride which is coming as 5:55 p.m. ist, right, and the same driver which usually go offline at 6 p.m. ist, so Uber will not give the respective ride to that driver, and Uber will not count that availability of driver in general. Are you getting me, guys? Okay, so that is also one of the important factor, the offline and online status of drivers. What will be their usual time, right, when a driver comes online and available for Uber. Okay, that also matters. In it is not that drivers are available and suddenly randomly just Uber make request to it. No, there is an entire analytics pipeline that run behind up, which take every data point in consideration, right? What will be the average time? Maybe there will be a driver which do Uber from evening 6 to morning 6, right? Maybe there will be average working hour of that drivers will be in evening or in morning or in late nights, right? That everything matters up. Fine, everyone is with me on this. Based on that, the availabilities are authenticated for the driver, that whether right driver is able to accept the ride or not. Fine. Why? Because if randomly Uber will try to give the request to the drivers, so what will happen, tell me, guys? Right, if Uber will not check everything for now for the driver respective driver data points, so what will happen? Right, tell me what will happen, what will be the backlash that Uber will be able to face, right? If Uber is not checking the online offline status of a driver, right, so there will be a nearby driver who generally got offlines, right? There is a usual pattern at 6 p.m. ist, and at 5:55 p.m. ist you are simply been giving the notification to that driver about to take a ride of a customer. So the acceptance rate is very low, yes or no? Very rarely the driver will able to accept the ride. If that is the case, right, so what will happen, my customer have to wait for more long time, yes or no? So average waiting time will be increased for the customer, yes or no? Everyone is with me on this, right? And if average waiting time is increasing for that customer, maybe next time customer is not been going ahead and putting up or tapping up on Uber, it will find the alternative where the customer is getting more rides quickly. Are you getting me? So every data point matters. Every single data points in data science matters. Have you ever wondered that even offline and online status for driver matters at the time of simply been managing the driver and riders demand and supply? What do you think, guys? Anyone have ever thought that offline and online status matters at this particular moment? Very minute data point, okay? But yes, having a very, very high impact on the business of Uber, right? Okay, so apart from that, if I talk about external data, so external data also comes into the picture that Uber generally considered up. Fine. And guys, this is one of the important thing that make Uber one of the best doing cab and transportation services in India for now. Why? Because earlier Uber has simply been missing these data points. Fine. So everyone is with me that Uber has simply been an organization which is back then launched in Silicon Valley in US. Yes or no? Right. So earlier when Uber comes to India, it failed badly. Ola have taken over the entire market because Ola is an organization which know the Indian consumer, which know their patterns, which know their events well, which know their mentality well, right? Which know the routes optimization better than Uber. Yes or no? Everyone is with me on this. So Uber have failed badly. Why? Because they have come from the mindset of a Silicon Valley and applying the same set of tactics in India, right? But after that, just being able to put this external data into the considerations of traffic patterns, peak hours patterns, events, festivals, right? Uber is making to get better decisions by better analytics, right? And by that, for now, Uber is you have already seen that Uber have taken up the entire market for now. Yes or no? Everyone is with me on this. Everyone is with me on this. Yes or no? Right? So that is one of the important factor that how analytics helps you to take the competitive advantage, right? So Uber now have integrated this external data also, which is weather, events, holidays, flight and train schedules. Very important, guys. Okay. So these are the important set of factors which you can say one of the very important factor, traffic and congestion patterns, right? Route optimization data. Okay. So by having these three factors, driver data points, rider data points, and external data, Uber is able to take better and you can say smart decision for now that how to increase the price and what will be the extent of increasing the price. Okay. Are you with me on this? Everyone? I'll just tell you, for example, it's a Friday night and heavy rains, right? Predictions will always be spike in price, yes or no? Perfect situation for Uber. Yes or no? Everyone is with me on this. This is how external data plays a very important role, right? So these patterns have been able to detect by the Uber, right? And within the same, it will be also been able to get the Uber to take the best decisions from the analytics pipeline. Okay, everyone is with me on this, guys. Yes or no? Okay. So over here now we'll try to understand the respective machine learning models and data science model that are working on dynamic pricing. Okay. So over here, guys, what will happen that you will be having up one of the very important factor, right? If I talk about your end-to-end data science pipeline over here, fine. So in this case, you get the collection of data happening up, yes or no, from the data point that I mentioned up, which is your rider data points, your driver data points, your external data. Okay. Within the same, guys, what you will be having up based on this data points to be collected up. Now your Uber will decide that where will be high demand. Are you with me on this, everyone? Right. So in this case, Uber will not simply just go ahead that where is demand now. It will always be predict, right, that where will be high demand. For an example, if a concert is ending at 10 p.m. IST, so before only, right, Uber will be able to get that from the respective concert places. After 10 p.m. IST, you will be having high demands. Yes or no? So Uber algorithms will automatically reroute the drivers and simply being able to get the rough forecasted area that how many rides they are expected up. Are you with me on this, everyone? Right? And Uber will make sure that wherever you will be having high demands, so based on high demands, you will be able to go ahead and you will be able to crack that respective deal with high prices. Okay. So after getting this demand forecasting, this is known as demand forecasting, guys, everyone, right? Which means that wherever you will be having a high demand, okay, automatically you are predicting it before it is happening. Okay. So for an example, if an concert is simply being get over at 10 p.m. IST, right? So Uber algorithm will already been able to reroute the drivers as per the demand that it is forecasting up, right? And demand will be forecasting with the previous transaction, right? That Uber is simply been doing at this particular position whenever there will be concerts. Are you getting me? Right? So once Uber will be able to know that where will be the high demands, the pricing algorithms comes into the picture, right? Simply been analyzing your demand and supply ratio, and based upon that, it will simply be able to start increasing the base price. Okay. So for an example, let's say there will be a respective multipliers for every region, guys, right? So let's say you will be having a, this is an algorithm which use machine learning tactics, right? Regression tactics into the picture, right? So let's say base fare is 200 rupees, right, from location A to location B. But let's say due to high demands, you will be having multiplier factors. Let's say 1.8x will be the multiplier factor for point A to point B. Okay. So automatically the search price will now be 200 into 1.8. That turns out to be 360. Okay. So these multiplier factors, can you see, will be given by your machine learning model, right? Everyone. By taking the respective data into the consideration, the external data, the driver abilities, and the rider behavior. Okay. Are you with me on this, everyone? Right? So this multiplier factors will simply been predicted by your machine learning, which will be able to increase the price, right? Everyone is with me on this. So from point A to point B, many time what happened that if you are booking at the same time, so two users can have a fluctuation in the prices. That is not too high, but yes, there will be a fluctuation. Are you with me on this, everyone? Right? So this is how your pricing algorithm works for now. Okay, everyone, how your pricing algorithm will be giving you the final respective price. So every area have its own set of multiplier, right? And by that multiplier, you will be having up the respective prices to be increased up as per the requirement, right? So two reason, guys. One is that Uber will be able to increase the profitability, okay, by simply being making the dynamic prices to be there up. Fine. And let's say, guys, you can say that okay, if Uber is not making the dynamic prices, it can have static prices. Okay. Then also it can go do a good revenue, yes or no? Why? Because if there is 500 people and there is 150 drivers, right? So for sure you will be going ahead and you will be able to crack the deals, yes or no? Everyone is with me on this, right? But apart from profitability, there is one of the very, very important factor, guys, that by dynamic prices or surge in prices, Uber also try to stabilize the market. Stabilizing the market means that if it increase the prices, so by increasing the prices, guys, you will be able to see it will be dropping down the request. Are you getting me, everyone? Right? Because if it is everyone, if Uber is having the same price from point A to point B for all times, all season, right, all events, so what will happen? Many people will try to go ahead and make the request, like you will be able to see, right? But the moment you give the search prices, right, so the request will be lower down, yes or no? Okay, else everyone try to book it up and people will be having longer wait time. Are you getting me? But by increasing the prices, it will be able to stabilize the market. Higher prices, some rider will wait, okay, everyone, right? And there will be less cancellations to be there up, right? But if it is a fixed price, everyone wants a ride and there will be less drivers available at that particular moment. So longer waiting time, driver shortages, and more cancellation. Are you getting me? So that is also one of the important second factor about for profitability, that Altix maintains the stabilization of the market. Are you with me on this? At the time of more requirement, okay. But major factor is of profitability only. That whenever there is a huge demand, so why should Uber will not make profit out of it? Are you getting me, everyone? Yes, clear with this? Great. So anyone have any doubt? Anything you want to ask for now, guys? All good? All good? Everyone? Okay. Amazing. Great. So over here, guys, anyone have any doubt, feel free to let me know. Right? So over here, I'll tell you the core tech implementation that you will be going to do with the same is entirely being depending upon your Python scripting. Okay. You take different respective data sources, right? As I already told you, from different databases, from external data, you put them together, you train a pricing model on top of regression algorithm, right? And this will automatically be giving you the multiplier factor based on prediction, so you don't have to do the manual calculations. Okay. So over here, guys, for now, if you needs to go ahead and if you needs to explore the more hard implementation of this pricing algorithm, right, on top of Python. So I'll just give you one URL. Do check. Okay, so meanwhile, anyone have any doubt, feel free to let me know, guys. Okay, so over here, you will be able to go ahead and you will be able to get an URL on your chat section, fine, where you can explore DS Launchpad program end to end catered for 90 days, where you will be building all these respective things from scratch, right? Which are simply being the working module, okay? And you will be able to go ahead and you will be able to build your portfolios and be industry ready, okay? So, anyone have any doubt, guys? Feel free to let me know. All good? Great. So thanks. That's all from my side for today. See you on our next session on Start Confident with Internshala series. Okay. So till then, have a great day ahead. See you.